Iran has accused the United States of testing what it described as a new weapon systems on civilians during the ongoing conflict between Tehran and Washington. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai shared details of a US missile strike on a sports hall that took place on February 28. According to Baghai, the attack killed 24 people, including a 2-year-old girl, on a post on X. He claimed the strike involved airburst missiles that released around 180,000 high-velocity tungsten pellets across the area. Baghai described the attack as a calculated decision to test the destructive power of a new weapon system on Iranian civilians and called it a clear and despicable war crime. Meanwhile, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, said it reserved the legitimate and definite right to retaliate against any violations of the ceasefire by the United States. According to the Iranian media, the IRGC said its air defense unit shot down an MQ-9 drone and opened fire on an F-35 fighter jet and an RQ-4 drone that allegedly entered Iranian airspace. The incidents were reported as tensions continued despite the fragile ceasefire between the United States and Iran. China also reacted to the recent escalation. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning urged all parties concerned to observe the ceasefire and resolve disputes through peaceful means. She said China hoped for an early restoration of peace in the region. At the same time, Pakistan and China reaffirmed their commitment to peace and stability in the Middle East during Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's visit to China. According to a joint statement shared by the Pakistan Foreign Office, Islamabad expressed support for proposals put forward by Chinese President Xi Jinping aimed at promising peace and stability in the region. China also appreciated Pakistan's role in facilitating a temporary ceasefire between the United States and Iran, as well as hosting talks in Islamabad. The statement added that both countries supported the early implementation of a 5-point initiative focused on restoring peace and stability in the Gulf and the wider Middle East. Regional diplomatic efforts also continued elsewhere. Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati and Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan held a phone call to discuss de-escalation efforts and ongoing negotiations between Washington and Tehran. According to Egypt's foreign ministry, both sides stressed the importance of diplomacy and dialogue to reduce tensions and end the war. Meanwhile, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei claimed that Iran and allied resistance groups had achieved what he described as remarkable victories against the United States and Israel. He said Iran had rendered Israel helpless under devastating blows and delivered what he called a hard slap to the United States. Khamenei also referred to connections among resistance groups existing from Iran to Lebanon, Palestine, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. In further remarks, the Iranian leader described Israel as a shaky Zionist regime nearing the final stages of its ill-fated lifespan. He also said that slogans against the United States and Israel would become increasingly prominent across the Muslim world after Hajj. At the same time, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced that Israel would intensify strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Netanyahu said Israel would continue confronting what it considers threats on all fronts, including Lebanon.
אנחנו במלחמה עם חיזבאללה. רק בשבועות האחרונים, הלוחמים הגיבורים שלנו חיסלו למעלה מ-600 מחבלים. אני רוצה שתדעו את זה. למעלה מ-600 מחבלים. אבל אנחנו לא מורידים את הרגל מהדוושה. להפך, אמרתי ללחוץ על הדוושה עוד יותר. אנחנו נכה בהם, נכון, הם יורים עלינו רחפנים, רחפני סיב, יש לנו צוות מיוחד שעובד על זה, וגם את זה נפתור. בינתיים אתם מגלים חוסן, אני רוצה לברך את תושבי הצפון, חוסן שמעורר השראה אצל כולנו. אבל מה שזה מחייב אותנו עכשיו, זה להגביר את המכות, להגביר את העוצמה, אנחנו נכה אותם שוק על ירך.
His remarks come as Lebanese authorities reported that 12 people were killed in Israeli strikes on southern Lebanese towns of Mashghara. Lebanon's national news agency said several others were also wounded in the attack.